we are going to be doing an hour's worth of your fan questions that you emailed in. But before we do, I thought we'd do a little watch along with a botch that you shared with me on Twitter.
You know, when you're watching Twitter and all of a sudden, you know, they have botches on there. Oh my God. Some of it is kind of funny, but it's not funny. Because what we're going to see is this girl, and it was a hell of a move. I don't think I've seen a guy do this move, let alone a girl. But you'll see in just a minute. She does this move, and we'll see the result of it.
Bear with me. Okay, we're about to watch it. This is for Stardom in Japan. And let me just slightly. There you go. Sorry, audio listeners, but here we go. Oh, good, it loops as well. Brilliant.
Oh, my God.
So a girl is trying to do the Kevin Sullivan double foot stomp, but instead of going up and down, she's sort of going directly forward.
I've never seen a guy do this, let alone a female, but she completely misses it or slips off. She overextends is what she did. And it's funny watching this, and I put this on my Twitter. I said, one thing you learn in the wrestling business, that concrete doesn't work very well with you, because when you hit it is as hard as when you get up as it was before you hit it. And I don't know why she would want to do this. So you say it was a double foot stomp?
Yeah, that's what it looked like, yeah. Do you remember the old Kevin Sullivan double foot stomp? But I mean,
I do. Well, I guarantee you wouldn't catch Kevin up there. You couldn't hog tie him and take him up there and have him do that. Because that's one of the differences between my generation and the one now, is because they take undue chances. Because this could have paralyzed this girl. You know, and I don't know, even if she'd have completed it, I mean, her whole weight would have been on that girl that she put through the table. I don't know how this could have ended any differently without one of them or both of them getting hurt. But like I say, it's kind of funny till you realize how dangerous this crap is. And that's why they say on TV, kids, do not do this at home. See, this is how Mick Foley started, diving off houses, through tables, and doing all that stuff. But Mick will tell you today that he's taken so many shots to the head. He told me one time he was driving home and got lost. He couldn't remember how to get home. Now, I think he's better now, but that's about 10 years ago when I was or maybe 15, when I was with TNA, he was telling me. He said one time he was trying to remember his phone number and he couldn't remember it. So, but anyway, this clip here of this girl, they're going to remember her for almost killing herself. And I doubt if she'll get booked anymore because of that. And if she does, the promoter may well ask her not to do that spot. So I think she took this out of her repertoire, I said. So this was in Stardom in Japan. I'm not familiar with them. So they have men. It's not an all girls thing, is it?
I think it may be an all girls promotion. Okay.
Yeah. I've heard about it. I'm not that familiar with them, but there's got to come a point to when does this really foolishness stop? I mean, you can't just keep getting bigger and bolder and, more daring without somebody really getting hurt. One of those people, either the girl on the table or the girl jumping, was bound to get injured in that. Now that girl's butt the next day, she's lucky she didn't pinch some nerves or break her back or become paralyzed because of that. So, and if I was a booker and somebody wanted to do it, I would have reservations about even giving them the okay to go ahead. I said, that's too dangerous. And it is. Because what if they put that table up and the floor could have been wet, which made her feet go out earlier than they did. I mean, and then she could have hit her head. It's too dangerous. I don't know what they're making over there, but I damn sure is not enough to injure career or injure mobility.
There's only one person, I believe, and you mentioned Mick Foley, who truly made a lot of money and by doing stunts like that, and everybody else didn't really make much money, but a horrible load of head injuries and whatever else, and horrible injuries to show for it. And the thing is, there's so many of these stunts now that the only way that they're memorable is if they mess it up, and therefore it went completely wrong anyway.
Well, to me, the hardcore style was started. Well, I think it kind of got started in Japan, maybe. I mean, they've always had the guys that do that stuff, like Terry Funk and Stan Hansen and Bruiser Brody. They were brawlers, but they didn't do anything that dangerous unless they hit you with a chair, and they could work those. But this you cannot work. It is what it is. And I made this statement one time about Mick Foley. I said he did more to help the business and hurt the business at the same time than anybody else, because he substituted those stunts, those chair shots to the head, that crazy stuff. He substituted that for like working ability, because he was probably more suited to that, and I will agree to that. But after a while, you're watching Mick, then you're watching Sandman and ECW, and you're watching Funk, and you're watching those crazy people do all these crazy things. So they had an influence on the next generation of wrestlers coming along. So I don't know if I've told you this story. I got booked on the show one time, and the guy said he wanted to do a hardcore match. I'll tell you this.
Was it? Yeah, was it an indie one?
Yeah, I ended up beating the shit out of him, and he never touched me. I said, if you pick up a chair, or even look like you're going to pick up a chair, first of all, I'm going to take it away from you, and I'm going to beat the crap out of you. I said, I didn't agree to it, and I told you that on the phone. I'll have a match. And he went ahead with it. So we had a match, but him and his partner both were crying when it was over, because One Man Gang, I've told this story before, he had the hardcore match with his buddy, and he beat him into next week. And I never will forget, come back dressed room, and they were both crying over there in the corner. Oh God, they hurt me. But anyway, and Gang walked over there and said, hey, thank you very much, man. I said, what'd you hit me so hard for? He said, well, you said lay it in. Because you could hit Gang. He didn't care. He was about 400 pounds. He didn't care. So, but anyway, guys, if as anybody wanting to learn to wrestle, develop a character and develop a style, not that, because that'll get you killed.